Awesome. Thank you, Victor. And just a reminder, everyone, we do have some selected questions that we'll be asking. These are have been gathered over about a week and a half. And if you have a question for Victor, go ahead and direct message it to me. And we'll go ahead and get that asked just so that way we can get through all the questions. Awesome. And so the next question comes from Rebecca Puck Stair, and it is revolving around, in New Mexico, we need to overhaul our economy and invest in renewables. What are the specifics on how he thinks we should do that, and how can we remove federal restrictions around this? What is your vision generally around the economy and renewable energy?
Thank you, Puck. I appreciate that question. Thanks for everything that you do in our communities. You're an incredible leader, and I'm very grateful that you took the time to submit a question. You know, I was on the front lines of helping pass the Energy Transition Act at the state level, a landmark legislation for which I led from within the governor's office to make sure that we were able to not only achieve some of the highest renewable portfolio standards in the country, but do so in a way that provided for a just transition so that we were leaving no workers behind. That meant investing in worker retraining programs, making sure that we were giving direct economic investments into the communities so that they themselves figure out an economic strategy that worked for them throughout the transition, making sure that as we were growing our renewable energy economy, that there were requirements to also support apprenticeships that are so critical to making sure that we are becoming a renewable energy leader. Again, this is something that there were a lot of folks in the legislature that pushed back. A lot of people that didn't think that we should be going so bold, that we should be going so high, that we were ready to set these bold standards. But the time for waiting is over. At the federal level, we need to pass the Green New Deal because it means bringing these infrastructure investments that are critical to making sure that New Mexico can be a renewable energy leader. We're the second sunniest in the state. Our wind is subprime. It's like nowhere else. Communities like Torrance County, right here in our district, could be leaders when it comes to wind. The reality is that California, that the Western United States cannot meet their energy goals without the help of New Mexico renewable energy, specifically New Mexico wind. But the challenge is that we don't have the infrastructure that comes along that's necessary for us to move renewable energy across the state, or be exporters of that renewable energy to other states like California who do need our renewable energy. And so what that means is that we need the Green New Deal because we need to make sure that we have the ability to invest in that transmission infrastructure. Folks may not know this, but every single grid in the country comes together in Clovis, New Mexico. There is no excuse for us not having the capacity to be renewable energy leaders, but it's going to take bold investments. It's going to take the Green New Deal, making sure that we are investing in the future, that we're making investments in things like broadband and that are critical to attracting manufacturing of renewable energy companies, which will create great long-term, high-paying jobs right here in our communities. It's going to be critical to making sure that our grid is up to the task of being the renewable energy leader. And so I'm a big supporter of the Green New Deal. I think that it's going to help once again revitalize our economy, continue the work that we've started at the state level to set us on a course of being renewable energy leaders, and really make a difference, especially for rural communities who need these types of opportunities and who have the capacity to really set the standard when it comes to a renewable energy future. And so, Puck, I really appreciate that question.